Hello guys, Lucas here. Welcome back to my new devlog. It's been almost 4 months I've uploaded the last video. These 4 months were quite hard. I didn't have much time for YouTube and game development at all. I was really struggling in my dead-end job and I needed a change, a new motivation. So I decided to quit.
Oh my god!
Yes, I quit my job where I worked for 8 or 9 years and started working on myself as a self-employed person. These days it's difficult to make a living on your own, but I know I made the right decision. I was scared all my life, try to make money somehow else than in job with my hands, and now I finally can do what I always wanted: full-time game development. If you saw my previous devlogs, you know I've worked on top-down RPG in Game Maker Studio. Yes, you heard right, I worked, but not anymore. Game Maker is maybe easier than Unity in some ways, but I don't like this workspace feature, or how they call it. In my opinion, it's absolutely annoying. So I thought about switching the project to Unity, and actually I did it. I completely reworked the whole project to Unity from scratch. But I lost my desire to work on it. I didn't enjoy the project itself, so I decided to start a new project. Absolutely different project. Third-person action adventure. It sounds cool, right? But it's just fancy name for a 3D platformer. Yep, another 3D platformer. But I really love these games. Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, or Medieval. Awesome games, and I wanna make something similar and fun to play. I don't know any details yet, who or what will be the main character or who will be the villain, where the game will take place, nothing at all. So if you have some good ideas, let me know in the comments. So I opened up Unity and started to work. First thing I started with was the new input system. I haven't tried it yet, but I was so excited. And what the? Okay, I looked at some tutorials and started again. And because my new game will be platformer, I wanted to use a gamepad to control a player. And I found out that my old controller doesn't work anymore. Unity recognizes it as joystick. I could add joystick input, but the right stick didn't work, and some other buttons of course. So I looked for a solution to what I can do. After 3 hours I just figured out I had to add a new control layout, set my controller as a gamepad and remap all buttons. It took me another hour to find out which button is which and set up both axes right. Now I can finally start making a game. I built a test level, added a capsule as a player, and started coding my own character controller. I could just download it from the asset store, but I like to do it all myself from the beginning. Basic movement wasn't that hard. Then I implemented jump and double jump. I use Cinemachine for camera movement. It's easy to use and it has lots of useful features and extensions. For example, this Cinemachine collider. It prevents the camera from going through the walls, so you always see the player or the target you want. Next ability I wanted to give to player is grabbing the ledges and basic climbing. I was wondering what would be a better approach, if the player could grab all the ledges, or I rather specify which one he could. It would be a little bit more work, so I decided to let it be for now, but in the future I will return to it and redo it correctly, because I want to avoid some random jittering and stucking in the walls. Next I downloaded a model of Viking from the asset store, only for testing purpose of course, and started making some animations. For animations I can recommend Mixamo. If you don't know, it's free and amazing tool where you can set up animations for your own models or just downloaded the whole characters. There are plenty of them. And the best thing is you can make your own model and then upload it, and Mixamo will generate a rig for it automatically. You can see I added basic animations for running and grabbing. Now it looks a little bit better. I tried implementing some footstep effect, but I think it doesn't look good, so I removed it. I want the player be able to explore the world, look for secret collectibles or items, and just have more options to do. So I added new abilities, crouching, sliding, new jump variations, and variable jump height depending on how long the player holds the jump button. If the player moves and presses the button for crouching, he would perform a slide attack, and if he presses the jump button while sliding, he would make a long jump and will be able to skip large gaps. Next is high jump. From crouch, the player jumps higher, almost twice as much as normal jump. So this is everything what I've got so far, and that's pretty much it for today's devlog. So what do you think about my project? Please leave a comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next week.